Hi guys, long time no see. It has been 3 weeks since I've vlogged and introduced you guys to Brenna. Well, a lot's went on since then, and right now we are, as a whole household, are struggling with COVID. That would be the third time we have had it. Each variant that has come out pretty much we've gotten but one. And it's not fun. But we are mid-quarantine. Saturday we are all home free. And I thought today would be the most opportune time because I finally feel ready to do my birth story. Where to start it would be, it was the 20th. I woke up that morning, had my doctor's appointment, and I was contracting pretty regularly at this point, but it's been on and off because I had preterm labor earlier on that they had to stop. And so my high-risk doctor came in. He said, you'll be fine, you're getting induced on Sunday anyway because I had prenatal hypertension. And he said, we'll see you Sunday, you'll be fine, go home, drink some water and rest. I'm like, I've had this feeling before. Right before I had Freya, I knew this day was the day. So I'm like, okay, if you say so. I smiled, left my doctor's appointment, scheduled for my next, like I was going to have one, which I wasn't. I was getting induced Sunday. And so I go home, and something told me, start getting your hospital bag, take it out of the closet, and just have it ready to go. And lo and behold, contractions picked up. So I called everyone that needed to be called. I had Will's mom on her way with Crystal to come get 3 kids. My mom took the other 3 kids with her because it was pretty much go time. And he left work an hour and a half early so that we could leave. Well, his mom and sister got stuck in traffic because there's so much construction going on. And my contractions were literally one on top of the other at this point, intense. Like they were a minute to less than a minute apart. I'm freaking out. I'm like, I'm going to have her at home. Completely and utterly freaking out, thinking I'm going to have her at home. I'm crying. And he had at this point taken a small nap with Liam on the couch. I'm freaking out, crying, and I'm texting his mom. I'm like, these contractions are really close together. How far away are you guys? Freaking out. She says, we're almost there. We're stuck in traffic and detours because of construction. And they were on South Main at that point. And by the time they got here, we literally ran out the door and we gave them the keys so that they could leave with the kids, be able to lock the house up. We had to go. And so we left, made it to the hospital. I was at a 6.5. And they got me checked in, got me hooked up to my IV and everything, and they were able to get me my epidural. And I guess Freya's joining us. I don't know if you can see her or not, but she's joining us. And they got me my epidural pretty quick, and it was my team that I loved so much that I seen throughout my whole entire pregnancy. And so they knew me, and they're like, so you're here, you were right again. I'm like, yeah. I said, do we get to tell the high risk doctor that I was right and he was wrong because he was so confident? And they're like, yeah, we can tell him, that'd be kind of funny. So fast forward, after having my epidural, finally relaxed and calming down, I'm thinking everything's fine, but it's not. My contractions were so intense and so close together that Brenna could not handle it. She went into she was having cardiac issues. I don't know exactly what they said it was, but her heart rate was in the 90s for over 4 minutes. So they then prep and rush me as if they're going to do an emergency C-section. They code stat getting me ready, and the anesthesiologist was super nice. Like, he held my hand the whole time. I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna get cut open. This is my worst fear. And they're like, the one doctor comes and she says, wait, let's break her water. Her name was Dr. Gray. So what they had to do, because I had the polyhydramnios, was they had to put their hand up and make sure that they kept the cord from slipping out before the baby's head got into place. So before Brenna's had gotten to place, she had to keep her hand up there as they broke my water control. And after they broke my water, they put an internal heart monitor on her head and a contraction monitor internally. And her heart rate, after about 30 seconds, finally went back up to where it was supposed to be. And I was at this point at an 8. They wheel me back to my regular L&D room, and Will is completely dumbfounded, like a deer in headlights, like, what's going on? You're back here, yet they're having me get dressed for a C-section. And I explained to him, and at this point I have the shakes so bad. They call them the transitional shakes, and it also comes from the epidural itself. But I'm shaking so bad, adrenaline sky high. I don't know how to feel at this point. And then Dr. Barker, who was one of my favorites, he came in. He said, yeah, you're at an 8.5 right now. He said, I don't give it too much longer, maybe another hour before you have her. And then not even 2 minutes after he walks out of the room, I felt the pressure. I said, babe, you need to go out in the hallway now and tell them it is time. And then the nurse comes in. She says, okay, let me check you. And she said, oh yeah, the baby's head's right there. So they get everybody. And instantly just have to start pushing. And because her head was kind of like stuck up in my pelvic bone and she was coming really fast, the doctor tried putting her hand in there to try to help move her head. And I screamed, get your fucking hand out. Will tried so hard not to lose it. But I was in my zone. I felt everything. The epidural was starting to wear off at this point. And so I'm sitting here screaming, and I'm like, fuck, the whole time just yelling fuck until she came out. And after 3 pushes, she flew out, and she was absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. Got to do 2 hours of skin to skin before they did any weighing or anything on her. She was 7 pounds, 10.9 ounces. You might as well say 11 ounces, but that's what they put down. And we had a normal 1.5 day hospital stay. She passed all of her newborn screens with flying colors. And it was amazing after the fact. Postpartum has not been hard at all, other than my first video of you guys meeting her, of us having the 2-day NICU stay after being home that weekend. She's been gaining weight beautifully, and she is now 10 pounds. She is, other than all of us battling COVID, super lovable, cuddly, and things are going great. So I hope to do way more videos now. We're getting in routines and keep you guys updated and posted in our daily lives. I am going to end things here because it's just getting too chaotic here, and yeah.